Hey, is your hair okay? Everything good?
Yeah, that's good.
You settled in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, it's a great day out there. Good week for a safety talk.
Great week.
A lot of stuff going on. Hey, don't forget, if you haven't taken a look at the website and actually look right down this thing right here. If you scroll down on the thing in front of you, you could register your job or submit your job for a Best Builder contest.
Yeah.
All you got to do is scroll down.
Yep.
And you could do that, right?
The committee's waiting for him.
Best Builder. But you brought up a good fact. You just got like one of them electronic mail things.
What are you talking about?
Email?
It got an email, yeah.
You got an email from National Safety Council?
Yeah, top 10 OSHA violations for 2024.
10 OSHA? Like, what does that have to do with VOSHA?
Well, I mean, we have the VOSHA one as well.
Yeah. And you're going to talk about the top 10 OSHA violations and tell us
OSHA.
what to look for?
Yeah.
OSHA? And what's the #1 violation out there?
Well, it's been the same for a couple of years. It's fall protection.
Fall protection.
Yeah.
And why?
Why? I mean, it's a good
Because
question.
people don't care if they fall from 6 feet?
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Kinda.
6 feet, right?
Yeah, or they just don't want to wear it.
And when you look at the fall protection piece federally, it's the only thing cited was 501 and 503, which were not only fall protection, but they're saying people weren't trained in
Yeah.
fall protection. Those were 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
that makes sense, yeah.
Okay, so they weren't trained in it, so we should make sure everybody understands 6 foot, that's the fall protection rule, and to make sure we have training, some sort of documentation, right?
Yeah, I mean, for an employer, for sure.
And then we have, what was it? Material handling, lifting stuff up. Are you gonna help me with this, or?
I am. I never know where you're going, so I try to follow along. It's hard.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Material handling?
Yeah, I mean, that's like our rigging equipment and stuff like that, making sure we're checking it, inspecting it before use, and yeah, following those.
Stacking stuff?
Yeah,
Pipes,
sure.
rails? Okay.
Storage of tanks.
Okay. Then, like, I look at the federal one there, and then they went to respiratory protection. Almost 3,000 violations across the country for respiratory protection.
Yeah, I mean, it's still one of those things where you get thrown a mask and you put it on without really thinking about it, and you go do your job until you get stopped.
Generally around the silica piece,
Yeah.
probably.
Asbestos
Wouldn't
as well.
you bet? Asbestos, silica. And then we had powered industrial trucks, I think, and that all had to do with training.
Yeah, I was going to say training and certificates for that too, yeah.
Okay. And then we had another fall protection one, scaffolding, not inspecting scaffolds.
What about the fall protection height on scaffolds? Because it's different than...
Well, that's 10 feet, but they
Yeah.
didn't write tickets for fall protection on scaffolds.
I just was making
They
sure
wrote them
everyone
for
knew.
the general requirements on that scaffolding.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Which general requirements requires an inspection.
Much like a trench.
Yes.
Daily inspection.
Then we had PPE and life-saving equipment, eye, face protection, that type of stuff.
Yep. Ladders.
And then machine guarding.
Yeah. Machine guarding. There was just, I was just doing an OSHA 10 and I was explaining the importance of machine guarding and having those in place.
Okay. You know, I'd like to talk about it. So that's the federal thing. I'd like to go to the state thing. But before we do that, before we take off on that,
We have a
I got
commercial
something
break?
I want to show you here.
Oh, what?
Look at this. Wasn't that the coolest thing you ever saw?
The picture behind us?
Yes.
I didn't see it in person, but it looks pretty cool on the wall.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the top 10 OSHA violations. Now, they wrote out 392 violations in the state of Vermont last year off 144 inspections, which means about 2.5 tickets per inspection,
Yeah.
right?
For about 7-8 grand a piece.
7-8 grand a piece.
Yeah.
If we say that, fall protection was the piece, and it really does come back to that 6-foot fall rule, right? And whether you're using railings or whether you're using a fall harness.
Or even a safety monitor and not knowing that you have to be there all the time. And
I heard a funny story about a monitor
Really?
who jumped off a roof
really?
when the job was done
Yeah.
and got caught.
Oh, like he jumped off while there's still people on the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Safety monitors should not be jumping off the roof.
No.
And should remain in charge the whole time they're there.
Yeah, I mean, that's in essence the whole point of them being there, is to make sure someone doesn't walk off the side of the roof.
Okay. And then once again in Vermont, that training requirement thing was pretty big. We've got to document our training.
Yeah, documentation.
Sign in, sign out, and keep a copy of whatever it was you trained for fall protection.
Yeah, keep a copy of it and make sure you know where it is, if it's on the computer or in a folder or something. Being able to get that when it's asked.
This asbestos thing keeps kicking up. You notice that?
Yeah, we had
I
a
mean,
call
it
the other
didn't
day.
matter whether it was the federal level, the all-inclusive level in Vermont, or the construction level. That asbestos thing seems to just keep coming back.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of old houses here, and we're working on a lot of them.
Do you think it was because of the flood?
Because the flood caused to have a lot of home improvements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So people were taking out asbestos piping?
yeah, or I mean, they're drilling through the old shingles and stuff like that. I think you're on a good track there. I mean, the flood did cause a lot of renovations for houses in our area.
Then on the federal level, they had those forklifts. In the state level, it's aerial lifts. And again, it's training, it's operator certification, it's
Yeah.
what we're doing. Make sure and have those guys trained. The scaffolding thing shows up again, right? 10-foot rule, making sure you're inspecting it before you use. And then we get into that silica thing again.
Yeah.
You know the funny one that popped in silica is silica, and guys, you better know table 1. You have to know table 1. Now, within that, you got to know what the requirements are for table 1, and that's a longer story. Maybe we should do a thing on silica next week,
Yeah, we can do that.
okay?
Table 1.
But the one that surprises me
Really?
immensely is that we ended up having tickets for the wrong use of ladders.
Yeah, you mean taking a step ladder and laying it up against the wall?
If that's what it was, do you think anybody inspects ladders anymore? Could it be
Probably
that?
not. I can't tell you the last time I looked at a ladder before I climbed on it.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to look at the rails and the steps and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And make sure it's in working order and can withstand your weight. So, anyway, so in my mind, if you're going to get out there, if we want to try to be a little safer, if we want to be good at this, make sure we're trained in fall protection, make sure we're trained in aerial lifts, use your scaffolding and inspect it properly, and know what table 1 is.
Yeah, and take the extra 5 minutes to be really good on documentation, making sure you know where to find it, or if that just means taking an afternoon to clean your office out and try to have all the documents organized, then do that.
Well, that sounds like a good kind of cutaway here.
Yeah.
Try to do that. That seems cool. Okay. Again, we're down here at AGC, and I'm not sure what we're doing here today, other than trying to make you aware of the top 10 violations that were just released, and try to put them next to the Vermont ones and what you should be aware of out there. So let's try to be safe. Let's be good. And remember, if there's anything we can do for you, feel free to give a call. 802-223-2374. We're here for you. It's Ben and me right here for you.